become the next Prime Minister of this country is denying the right of the people to determine.
The opposition and even some allies insist the food bill is far from ready to be passed.
Issues need to be addressed. Unless until this happens, I think it would be more of a political gimmick.
Samajwadi Party has some reservations. Samajwadi Party has moved some amendments.
Time is running out for the UPA government. It has barely 7 working days to pass the showpiece legislation called the Right to Food Bill. Clearly, the homework's not been done, and the government realizes that one way or the other, they have to pass this legislation or face the onslaught of a huge political embarrassment. In New Delhi, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
So is there a real danger that this food bill, which is supposed to be a landmark legislation, will go the way of the women's bill? Joining us on the program tonight from the BJP, its national spokesperson, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Here in the studio with us, senior Samajwadi Party leader, Mr. Kamal Farooqi. The national secretary of the CPI and Rajya Sabha MP, Mr. D. Raja is with us. And we have economist and social activist Ritika Kherao joining us here in the studio. We'll be joined by Abhishek Singhvi, spokesperson of the Congress party, in just a bit. Sudhanshu, let me ask you first. How does the BJP respond then to this charge by the Congress that it is the opposition that is stalling this important legislation which will give the right to food to a large section of this country? At the end of the day, that is how it's being seen, that it is the BJP that's stalling it.
As far as this food security bill is concerned, I want to make it clear that in principle, we are very much in support of the food security. But as far as this bill is concerned, from process to certain sections, we want certain amendments. If the government accepts our amendment, we are ready to support it. And our honesty to support this bill or to support the food security is very much reflected from the acts of our government, whether it is Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat. Now come to this point, if this bill is so important, then why the government was not ready? We are just asking a single statement from Prime Minister. Whatever Mr. Shri Prakash Jaiswal has said, if the Prime Minister would have said, the things would have been clear today itself. So it was on the part of the government how much serious they are for this bill rather than blaming BJP.
So the onus is on them. But Sudhanshu, as you said yourself, the coal minister did make a statement on the floor of the House. Why is that not enough?
It's not enough because this coal scam is directly involving Prime Minister office, not only on the floor of the House and on the political arena, but also in the eyes of Supreme Court. When the CBI has submitted the charge sheet. So considering the gravity of the situation and their moral responsibility, the Prime Minister should have come out and said one statement. That's what we were requiring.
Can those differences and those issues be put aside for one day to have a proper discussion? Like you yourself said, you want certain amendments to the food security bill. Okay, but you need to have a debate on that and a discussion on that on the floor of the House. Can all these other issues not be put aside so as to be enable you to have that discussion and to clear this bill? If everyone is so serious about it.
Yeah, definitely we were very serious. If you look at the last session of the parliament, we were just demanding the resignation of the 2 ministers. And immediately after the parliament session, they have done that. If they have done it just few days before, in last session it would have been cleared. So if you go by the technicality and the nuances of the situation, you will clearly draw a conclusion that who is responsible for this.
Okay, Mr. Kamal Farooqi, as an interesting friend of the Congress party here, what would you say to that? Should the Prime Minister then just speak and end this controversy once and for all?
I don't think that is possible in all the issues. In fact, the Minister has already given some explanation, and I personally feel that such an important bill which is pending, it should not go haywire like this. And BJP unfortunately has been doing this for the last 2-3 sessions. In fact, not only this session, even the last 2 sessions have been, for one way or the other, the parliament is not functioning. It is not good in the for the country. In fact, we have some, obviously we have some reservations, we have given certain amendments, but we are for it, that if all those points have been taken care of, on the priority this food bill should be taken up. But I do not know what is the game plan of BJP, why they are stalling the whole thing. As far as this Colgate is concerned, missing file is concerned, nobody is defending the government. The fact should come out clearly. But why such an important bill is being started? Why at all must they are not allowing this the discussion on such an important legislation which is going to change the fate of the poor and the farmers and whatnot?
Okay, Mr. Raja, where does the CPI stand on that on that particular issue? Do you also believe that it is imperative for the Prime Minister to first make a statement on coal on the coal scam and then only move forward on the food bill?
Not only on this Colgate scam. After all, he is Prime Minister, he is head of the government. He has to comment on many crucial developments that are taking place in the country or outside the country. Hardly we hear Prime Minister speaking on issues, except we heard him on Independence Day. That is a different thing. But my point is, the left parties are for legislation on food security and right to food. In fact, the CPI and all left parties have conducted a countrywide campaign on this demand. But we want a strong, effective legislation. The bill that is before the Parliament in its present form with its present content acceptable to us. That's why we have moved number of amendments to strengthen the bill. But there should be a comprehensive debate in the Parliament. The bill needs to be drastically amended. Why Parliament is not functioning? There are equally serious issues.
But are you also, Mr. Raja, are you also laying the precondition? Are you also laying the precondition that the Prime Minister must speak on Colgate first?
No, I am not making any precondition. I am making a statement. After all, the nation wants to hear from Prime Minister what he says on different issues in the country or outside the country. So that is a different thing. But as far as this food security bill is concerned, there should be a comprehensive debate in Parliament and bill needs to be drastically amended. But there are equally serious, sensitive issues which are coming before Parliament. For instance, the missing of files. How do you explain this? Files are missing and CBI is asking for some crucial files. They are missing. The minister's statement is an admission that files are missing. How it happened? Who is responsible?
Okay. I want to ask Abhishek Singhvi. Yeah, Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, why then doesn't the Parliament, doesn't the Prime Minister make a statement on this and end this? This is such a crucial piece of legislation. Everybody says food security is important. We may differ on how it has to be implemented and done, but everyone in principle agrees that it is an important legislation. The Congress in particular is desperate to push it through in this session. So why not end this controversy once and for all and ask the Prime Minister to speak?
Nidhi, I am not going to be here to prognosticate on what will happen after or the day after that. I am not looking into a crystal ball. But I want to ask through you, is this fair and reasonable? On the one hand, everybody says, yes, the food security bill is important, must be discussed. Now, how can it ever be a precondition that on an unrelated issue, which is Supreme Court monitored, where the stand of the government has been made clear by a minister of the cabinet on the floor of the house, where a written statement has been circulated, where the CBI stand is known clear, where the media has said everything which is to be said, you say that unless it is resolved in the mode and manner of my satisfaction, I will hijack, obstruct or not allow the food security bill to go on. I want to ask you that if you accept this principle, tomorrow there will be another issue. There will be an allegation by me against you tomorrow on something else. Day after tomorrow there will be a third allegation. In each, if you decide the form and manner of how, unless and until the Prime Minister speaks in this form and manner, I will allow Parliament to function. This is a completely untenable, unsustainable hijacking of Parliament. Look, Parliament, you can criticize us, even abuse us, but you can't stop Parliament functioning. And if you are really stopping Parliament functioning on an issue on which a Government of India has made a statement, the Government of India works through its ministers and ministries. It is for the prerogative of the government to decide who will speak. What else will the Prime Minister add? Do you think that Mr. Jaiswal, who makes a statement, does not have the Prime Minister's backing? Does not have the Government of India's backing?
The opposition also has the prerogative to ask the Prime Minister to make a statement too, if it's a serious issue, and the issue of missing files is very serious.
Only the government has a prerogative to decide. Now the fact that the Prime Minister may or may not choose to make a statement later on is neither here nor there. It will not absolve the complete irresponsibility of the opposition, mainly the BJP, in not allowing Parliament to function on a pretext, on a pure excuse. And as I end this, let me say, I don't say it about every other opposition non-Congress party, but certainly about the BJP. It is most unfortunate, Nidhi, that by hook or by crook, and more by crook and less by hook, the BJP is interested in not allowing the food security bill to go through. I've said so yesterday, I've said so day before.
Why?
And you will find a new excuse on Thursday, a new excuse on Friday, a new excuse on Monday. If it's Tuesday, the excuse is
Why?
this.
Why?
If it's Wednesday, the excuse is
Is
this.
it because you believe they don't
Why?
want you to take
You have
credit for
ask
it?
You have to ask the BJP. Why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
We are now down to politicizing everything. We are forgetting public interest, national interest, parliamentary interest. We think that because there are elections around the corner, the BJP must think that it must stand up and somehow prevent the signature, the credit, the authorship of a vital public interest bill to the Congress. And that is most unfortunate.
Okay.
You know, you can oppose the bill in Parliament, take responsibility for your actions, you can amend it, you can constructively amend it, you can make suggestions. But if your hidden agenda is not to let it pass, then ultimately, let me tell you, Nidhi, the people are not foolish and they are not children and they don't need grass. They will see that if you are trying to obstruct it by hook or by crook, this is not going to go without accountability.
The many loaded statements in there, and I'm going to get a response. But before I do that, Sudhanshu, I'm just coming to you. I just want Ritika Khera to come in here, because what Abhishek Singhvi says in one part is actually very true. Everything is being politicized at the moment. This is a legislation that is extremely crucial. What are the consequences of this not going through in this session?
So, just as a normal person actually, and obviously also as someone who's very interested in these sorts of issues, I think it's a real travesty what is going on. Since the winter session, there's been hardly any business transacted, and this is really insulting as a voter in this country, you know, to see this sort of tamasha where every day 6 different people rush into the well of the house and disrupt it. And it's really shocking that at a time where we repeatedly, everyone makes all these pious statements about our battle against undernutrition, etc., that nobody is actually willing to stand up. I mean, in fact, the opposition party should be holding the government responsible for not having a discussion on this issue if they actually cared about these. So I find it really hard to believe that all these political parties, whether it's the government or the opposition or even Samajwadi Party, are actually interested, given the way this has been going on since the budget
and
session.
the consequences.
Baba, why are you bringing into it? We have been saying it. We are on merit. We have been saying.
But even the Samajwadi Party did at one point say that you know, this bill is anti-farmer, and actually there's no real justification for that.
But all these issues are now being considered.
Yeah, but all these things should be debated in Parliament.
Yes, that's what actually I'm saying.
But the point is, if it's not, what happens?
BJP,
because there's someone who's campaigned so extensively right. What happens then? What are the consequences of this not going through?
Well, so you know, Comrade Raja was saying that the nation wants to know what the Prime Minister has to say on the coal scam. I would say the nation wants to know what the government and all the politicians are doing on this issue that affects them on a day-to-day basis. You know, when there's something related to the gems and jewelry industry, they come to the streets immediately and they're able to fight their battles. But the poor are not going to be able to leave their, you know, daily wage work and come and agitate on the streets. And there's really no one to speak up for them, not the government, not the opposition parties, not, you know, there's just nobody across the political spectrum.
Okay, let me take that then back to Sudhanshu Trivedi. Sudhanshu, Abhishek Singhvi says it's an untenable hijacking of Parliament and there is a hidden agenda of the BJP to scuttle this bill, that you will find an excuse every day, whether it's today, whether it's Thursday, Friday, to ensure this bill doesn't go through.
I disagree with Dr. Singhvi, because this is not just a trivial issue. It's an issue related to Prime Minister office involved in a scam. And previous government, there are also Narasimha Rao government and Rajiv Gandhi government, there was a finger on the Prime Minister office. But in this case, for the first time, Supreme Court of India has asked that no political executive will interfere in this report. It means the Supreme Court was having an apprehension, and finally the apprehension proved right. And now the third stage, the files have gone missing. It means it was a question mark on the entire credibility of the state infrastructure of India. It was a question mark on the political establishment of India, credibility of the political establishment of India. And for this, if we are just asking a statement, is this hijacking? Do you not think that even a simple statement is required as a head of the political establishment, on which the credibility in the eyes of public, in the eyes of parliament, in the eyes of judiciary has been raised?
No, I think
a statement and then go ahead with the business.
No, I'm sorry, but I think it is simply hijacking, because the case is pending in the Supreme Court. The day-to-day functioning is going on, and this is not a new thing. The minister has already made the statement. So allow the parliament to function. Have this discussion on the food bill and the other things. Don't disturb the parliament like
this.
It is
very ironical to say that if minister has given a statement, it is sufficient. But if the PMO officers have said something, it has nothing to do with Prime Minister.
But Sudhanshu, if the coal scam is an important issue, and I agree with you that it is a very, very important issue, but it's something that's not going to go away, that can be continuously debated throughout the remainder of this parliament session. Is there not one day that can be set aside to at least allow this legislation to pass first?
There is a different thing.
Can it be in reverse?
There is a different thing. The interpretation should not be like that if we are putting a precondition that first solve this issue, then we will go for food security bill.
That is what you are doing.
That is what you are doing.
There cannot be comparison in a statement and putting any precondition.
Okay, Abhishek Singh, yes.
Only one very quick thing. I've already made the point, which I will now go to repeat, that as a matter of principle and practice, if you accept that Parliament will function only on preconditions, then let me tell you, 365 days of the year, there will be an issue on which you can create a precondition on which Parliament will not function. As a matter of principle, this is just not on. It can't be. But secondly, let's look at the issue of the missing files for just 2 minutes, less than a minute, Nidhi. Here is a Supreme Court monitored investigation where it has been clarified in writing that over 1.5 to 2 lakh pages comprising 769 files have been handed over to the CBI. Now the CBI finds some files missing, as in any investigation can find some material missing. It is the government's own stand from the beginning that we are very sorry and sad and shocked to find certain files missing. Way back 3 weeks ago or 1 month ago, a high-powered committee under additional secretary of that ministry set up to find out fixed responsibility. That report is yet to come. The Supreme Court can handle contempt. The government says all this. And one more very important thing the government says, which it hints at, that possibly the overwhelming number of these files relate to allocations made before 2004. This is very important, Nidhi. It doesn't matter whether the allocation are to you or to me, whether I am supposed to be close to the Congress or not close to the Congress, they are made. The decision which is challenged is taken pre-2004. Now, in that scenario, I am asking myself, how can this be such a big issue as to derail, disrupt and block Parliament?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because the CBI claims, Abhishek Singhvi, because the CBI claims that the missing files pertain to all the 13 FIRs, including those against Naveen Jindal and Vijay Darda. Those are your 2 Congress MPs. This is what the CBI claims. Therefore, it is far more serious.
1 minute, Nidhi. Let's for a minute come to the nub of it. I don't know the names, I don't know the details. Let me accept what you are saying. I am repeating. Officially, the minister has said that the overwhelming bulk of the files, whether it be Mr. Darda Jindal or non-Darda Jindal, relate to decisions taken, allocations made and files noted pre-2004 Congress government taking over. Therefore, suppose the Supreme Court fixes culpability tomorrow, it will be on the decision makers pre-2004. Those files, some of them are missing, a minuscule number, after having handed over 769 files. If I want to be cussed and I want to be, a little motivated, what prevents me from saying that the only persons who will benefit from these missing files are the decision makers pre-2004? But can I get them and start disrupting Parliament on that? You please judge. You please decide.
Okay. Let me get a response first from Mr. Raja. Mr. Raja, I think the point that the Congress is trying to make is they believe that this is being deliberately done, a lot of song and dance being made about it, and a lot of noise being made about it, because it's a conspiracy to scuttle the food bill as far as the BJP is concerned. However, you would maintain, I'm sure, that this is a serious enough issue and that we don't have a definitive actually count on which files actually are missing. I repeat, the CBI claims, their senior official claims that it pertains to all the 13 FIRs in the case. Mr. Raja.
Definitely it is a very serious issue, and the entire coal block allocation scam is getting murkier and murkier every passing day. It is a serious issue. Now let us understand, without any prejudice, Indian democracy is a parliamentary democracy. It is a multi-party democracy. It is not Congress versus BJP or BJP versus Congress. The country cannot be run on bipartite consensus or agreement between BJP and Congress. And we should take note of the presence of other democratic forces, political forces in the country. And I am asking the Congress party, what Congress party was doing all these years? Why at the fag end of its tenure it is trying to push through everything, and this right to food legislation, food security bill legislation, it is pending before the parliament. How come Congress governments have inaugurated in a few states? Why they chose to go through ordinance route? We are opposed to ordinance route. We wanted a comprehensive debate in the parliament, and Congress party claims no, Congress party claims it is a game changer. It means you are taking people for granted. On one side, my good friend Abhishek says people cannot be fooled, people cannot be taken for granted. But Congress party is doing that. People are matured enough. They cannot be hoodwinked by such things by Congress party. Take parliament seriously and go through parliament route and let us have a debate.
Okay, I'm going to
Prime
get Mr.
Minister
Singh's
stand up
response to that. 1 second, Ritika wanted to come in over there. Was it wrong of these schemes to have been launched today? When, and Mr. Raja has a point, the bill hasn't gone through parliament. It is a matter pending before parliament.
Yeah.
Was this, a desperate poll ploy to time it with Rajiv Gandhi's birth anniversary?
Yeah, so let me say 2 or 3 different things. The Food Security Act has 3 or 4 important schemes. It has maternity entitlements, Anganwadis, midday meal scheme and the PDS. 3 of these schemes are already running on the ground. I feel that the sort of expansion that we are seeing on Rajiv Gandhi's birthday actually should have happened 4 years ago, when the government actually promised to bring a food security bill, and then they could have debated the bill in parliament. So certainly today's launch is suspicious, but I think this should have happened a long time ago. But all political parties are really speaking in 2 voices on this issue. The Congress in November made this big hoo-ha about cash transfers. Now they say food, and then today they launch it on Rajiv Gandhi's birthday. That certainly makes it a little bit suspicious. But no other party has tied itself in knots the way BJP has. So, their leaders will say, oh look, this bill is really lame. In Chhattisgarh we've done this and that and the other, and this bill should be doing more, which I agree that it should be doing more. But in the same breath they say, oh, this is just a political ploy to get more votes. If it is such a lame bill, why are they worried about the vote potential of it? And in fact, they should, if they feel that they've done a better job in Chhattisgarh, which I agree that that bill is better and there's a lot to learn, and in fact this bill does learn from Chhattisgarh quite a bit, then they should push for that in parliament rather than playing this politics. And then there's another incident actually, they've released a little booklet yesterday or day before yesterday about 272 or whatever, and one of the websites they list that people should visit every day is called Niti Central. Now if you visit Niti, this is the BJP, and if you visit Niti Central, this has some of the most vociferously anti-food bill articles on their website, so
I'll take that to Sudhanshu, because Sudhanshu, it's very interesting what the BJP's position on the food bill. I mean, there seems to be, like you said at the beginning, a general support for it. Then you had Mr. Modi writing to the Prime Minister opposing certain the current form of the bill, as it were, and that's led to the Congress now basically accusing, today in particular, the Food Minister, saying that it's Modi who is deliberately opposing it and delaying this food bill. How would you respond to that confusion that seems to be stemming from your party?
There is no confusion. What question you have asked, it is having 2 dimensions. One is the technicality of this bill, another is the intention of the BJP. I will answer both of them. As far as the technicality of the bill is concerned, you are reducing the quantity, increasing the cost, and reducing the nutritional capacity. And moreover, you are giving no intention how you will increase the production and procurement, and you are just focusing on distribution. Even the central government's report on agriculture cost and pricing has said that additional 1 lakh crore rupees is required in coming 3 years for increasing the production, which you are not showing. That is a different issue. I will not go into
okay,
this. I want now on the intention, I would like to say one thing.
I'll come back to you on that
point. If the
point,
government was so serious...
Sudhanshu, one second. Ritika just wants to rebut you on that one particular point because she was holding her head.
Okay. So there are actually important provisions in the bill to deal with undernutrition, and the most important one I think is the entitlements for pregnant women and also the integrated child development services. So this bill can do something about nutrition. It doesn't go as far as it needs to
so
go.
Mr. Modi's concerns misplaced?
A little bit. So the second thing is that the bill is actually committing only 5 million tons extra over and above what we are already giving to these programs. So 58 million tons is already committed to the PDS, ICDS and midday meal program, and for this bill we need 63 million tons. So you know, this inflating of the costs, etc., this scaremongering that lots of people do, including some panelists, I think this is just totally out of order. And
okay, you're calling it scaremongering. Sudhanshu, you wanted to talk about the BJP's intent though.
As far as the intent is concerned, at this time, as Mr. Raja has said, for 9 years they kept on sleeping. And the second thing, they are trying to put a blame on us. What if in the case of FDI in retail and Indo-US nuclear deal, has they got it passed with the support of BJP? They got it support with full throttle opposition from BJP. And right now, when even we are ready to support, they are trying to put a blame on us. It means there is a lack of and suspicion of intention on the part of the Congress party, because in FDI in retail and nuclear deal, they were having interest. And for the poor is concerned, they are waiting for the VRs. Our government in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh had not waited for the election months to do this. We have done it much earlier. So there is a distinct difference in the intention of the BJP and the Congress, which is visible for their act in the last several years of our state governments and the central government of the UPA.
Isn't it a bit disingenuous though of the Congress, Dr. Singhvi, to say that Mr. Modi was the one who is delaying the food bill for denying the right to food for people, because he hasn't opposed the concept of food security. He has opposed this bill in its current structure, in its current form, and now the Congress is projecting it like he is the one, as they have done today, as the food minister has done today, that he is the one who's denying the right of food security.
2 or 3 things. Nidhi, there's a delicious irony here. For the last 3 or 4 minutes, the arguments I heard, this is wrong with the food bill, that is wrong with the food bill. I was so happy till I remembered that we are on Nidhi's channel and not in Parliament. Shouldn't we be hearing these arguments in Parliament? Please oppose the bill. Please criticize the bill. Please suggest an amendment. Please suggest an improvement. Please suggest a deletion. But do it in Parliament. What's the point of giving all these lectures on your channel if you are not allowing it to happen in Parliament? That's the question. Nobody's answering that question. That question is digressed. Point number 2. If you have so many, now I'm assuming that you're going to let it be discussed in Parliament. If you have so many objections to the bill, will one of you please stand up and say in Parliament, we oppose the bill, it should not be passed, not only not in its present form, but unless these substantive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 amendments are made. That's a very fair point. You take responsibility for what you say. You take the hit from the people or the benefit from the people. But the whole problem is you are trying to do shadow boxing. The whole problem is you are trying to do run with the hare, hunt with the hound. You want to see somehow that it doesn't get through, but you don't want to be blamed for it not getting through. Now why is that? Because you are scared of the authorship and the signature of the Congress. Now let me tell you, Nidhi, it is a legitimate political action that a party in power takes a decision, passes it through cabinet, attempts to pass it through legislation or through ordinance, and then claims credit for it. What is the wrong in it? Of course we'll claim credit for it, because we believe in it. If there is a problem with it, if there is a negative point to it, we also take the hit for it.
But we could go back to this debate on the ordinance.
So why are you so scared?
But
why are you so worried?
But because Dr. Singhvi, everybody has... One second, I'll tell you no. Because everybody has issues with this bill, as you said. Everybody has amendments that they are proposing, which is why the whole idea that it was rammed through an ordinance was something that that took a lot of people by surprise. That it should have been debated.
Let me tell you.
We've gone through that.
Let me tell you, Nidhi, we've gone through all that. You did not allow Parliament to function in the second half of the budget session. We approached you for consent, prior consent. You did not give that. We are fully, legitimately entitled to pass an ordinance because we think it's vital in national interest. Now, you have a second chance, Mr. BJP and opposition parties. You have this ordinance which will lapse because Parliament is in session. Now you have a chance to pass it after discussion. And every point you are making on Nidhi Rajdan's program can be made inside Parliament. But if you don't do it again here, on pretext one or the other, I believe that there are only two options to the government. And let me say it very clearly in your program, Nidhi. Of course, one is to pass it by a voice vote in the din. And then all of you can complain that there is no discussion. But the fault is that those who should allow a discussion are allowing a discussion. The second is that it's a done deed. The ordinance is already issued. So you will simply re-promulgate an ordinance the day Parliament ends.
Which is a shame.
Because
it shouldn't happen that way.
Law. It can't stop, it can't have a gap, it can't have a vacuum, it can't have a hiatus.
Okay.
And that is done by re-promulgating.
Okay.
It's as simple as
Mr.
that.
Raja, I'll just
so
come
what
to
are you objecting on?
Okay.
What
So Sudhanshu Trivedi, I come back to the original question. Is the Prime Minister's statement then on Colgate going to be a precondition to a debate and the passage of the food bill, Sudhanshu? Because that's what it has come to.
We are not putting it as a precondition. As far as the precondition is concerned, there are certain amendments which will be tabled in the Parliament when the bill will be from our side.
But allow that to happen.
And those amendments will be tried, tested and successfully proven our state government. And we hope that the government will give attention to it and incorporate those things and the food bill will be passed.
No, allow this in the Parliament. Why are you not allowing the Parliament to function? I agree with you. You may be having reservations. I have some reservations. Other parties may be having. Allow this in the Parliament to be discussed. Let nation knows what are the issues. We have certain reservations, but we are ready to discuss in the Parliament. Today we met, our whole parliamentary committee met, and we had certain reservations. We had told them, these are certain amendments which you want. Discuss all those kind of things. Why are you starting the Parliament? That is my question. Why are you making a precondition?
I have repeatedly answered those questions, that for which we are asking the Parliament just a statement of the Prime Minister, and you are not ready to give it.
But then it is a precondition.
Then it is a precondition.
Yes, you are having an option to go ahead with like you have done in FDI
then, my dear friend, then say it is a precondition. Don't say it that it is not a precondition. You don't want the Parliament to function unless your demands are met. Forget about the food bill.
No, if at all it is a precondition, it is precondition for re-establishing the credibility of the entire Indian political establishment. It's not the precondition for food bill.
What are you talking? What are you talking, sir? Nation knows it. What is going on for the last 3 sessions, in fact.
Mr. Raja,
nation also knows it, sir. What is going on since the last several years and what the economy has
But
reached.
Mr. Raja, is the CPI going to support a precondition? I come back to that question. You didn't answer it earlier, sir.
Come on, I have never said that. I will speak for me, and you
I'm
don't
asking
ask me because you don't allow me to speak. What is this debate you are having?
Go ahead, Mr. Raja.
In fact, I have made it very clear. We are for a legislation which should be effective and strong, and that legislation should not lead to dismantling of public distribution system. In fact, that should help to streamline, strengthen and universalize our public distribution system. We have all our points and we have moved several amendments, crucial amendments. We are not discussing that. Now what Mr. Abhishek Singhvi has said shows the arrogance of the Congress party. They will pass the legislation in din and they will implement everything through ordinance route. This shows the arrogance of the Congress party, and Congress party must be more responsive and more accommodative to the concerns expressed by the opposition parties. We want Parliament to function, and in fact the CPI and left parties are saying that Parliament should function for minimum 100 days in a year, and we want the Parliament to work and meaningful debate should take place in Parliament. But this is not, but what I am saying, it is not a precondition. Now there are issues which are coming up in Parliament. One should be very realistic, and missing files is an issue. The Prime Minister can stand up and say, all right, it is an issue. The government will address this issue. Government will share the concern of the opposition parties. leave it and we will discuss right to the food security bill. Prime Minister can ask the Parliament what is wrong in it. What is wrong in it, I am asking.
Okay, I'm going to revisit this debate on Thursday. There is no Parliament tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday, but the food bill is slated again for discussion and passage on Thursday. Let us see if the opposition does allow that discussion to take place, or as Dr. Singhvi believes, they will find another excuse to not let that bill go through. We'll see you again on that in just a couple of days. Thank you to all of you for joining us on the show tonight. Well, before we take a break, we'll show you these interesting pictures of another person, another individual whose dealings dominated Parliament last week, Robert Vadra, who made his public appearance today while paying tributes to former Prime Minister Rajiv